got married, had a child, and I remember like maybe 5, 6 years later, I was so different from what I ever thought I would be. I was a shadow of who I used to be. There's actually a photo that I share sometimes on social media, and it makes me cringe when I see it because that woman is so far from who I know myself to be. And the thing about that photo, it was taken at a social outing. And I remember getting the physical copy and looking through and being horrified. It was like a come to Jesus moment, like, who is this woman? This cannot be me. And it was a wake up call. And I think the reason why women lose themselves is much the reason why I lost myself. Because most of us are really not taught how to be ourselves, how to be women. We are taught how to labor like women. We're taught how to cook, how to clean, how to care for the household, how to work. In my case, I was a pharmacist, how to care for your baby. You think that's what it means to be a woman. And before you know it, you're in this life that you're existing and you're trying to catch up. And every day you feel like you're failing, by the way, and you're overwhelmed. You don't talk to anyone about it. You don't share how you feel. You just keep trying to carry on. What's going to happen in that case? What Americans often say is something's got to give. When you live that way, something's got to give. And quite often it's you. And that's why women lose themselves. How do you find yourself after you've lost yourself? The first thing is to first become aware and acknowledge that you've kind of lost yourself. And I think the second thing is to forgive yourself. I think a lot of women don't move from that place and can't acknowledge they've lost themselves because they're not able to forgive themselves. Forgive the people around you that were part of the ecosystem of losing yourself. And then start to ask the question, who do I want to be? How do I want to live? And really start to detail that. And some of it requires unpacking, who have I always thought I was? Some of it requires kind of deconstructing. In my program, I've had celebrated people take my course. They take it quietly and they send me messages saying, my goodness. I had so many people tell me, this made me sit and think. 50 years old, I cried and cried and cried for the woman that I used to be. But let me tell you what happens after that season, that moment, that time when they unpack. It's like they wake up to themselves. So there is a way forward. You don't have to live in the place of stuckness. A lot of women have convinced themselves that they just have to live that way, that, marriage is hard and life is hard and, life sucks. It doesn't have to if you're willing to do the work.